December 1944, Stalag VII-A, Moosburg, Bavaria. Private First Class Leon Bass stood in the exercise yard, freezing. The temperature was below zero. He'd been captured 3 weeks earlier, near Bastogne, Battle of the Bulge. His unit, 183rd Engineer Combat Battalion, overrun. He'd fought until ammunition ran out, then surrendered. He was watching the guards patrol, one guard in particular, young, maybe 20, Gefreiter, Private First Class, Karl Becker, walking the fence line, stopping occasionally, looking at something in his hands, a book, English textbook, basic primer. The guard was studying, between patrols, between duties, trying to learn English, secretly, looking around constantly, making sure nobody saw. Bass watched this for 5 days. Same guard, same book, same struggling. The guard was getting nowhere. Learning language from book alone was nearly impossible. On the 6th day, Bass walked to the fence, close enough to talk, far enough to avoid suspicion. The guard looked up, wary, ready to order him back. Bass spoke in German, basic German from his grandmother, from Philadelphia's German neighborhood. "Du lernst English? You're learning English?" The guard froze, looked around, making sure nobody heard, then nodded. Bass switched to English, spoke slowly. "I can help. I teach you English." "You want?" The guard stared. Black American prisoner offering to teach German guard. This made no sense, but desperation won. Ja, bitte. Yes, please." Bass smiled. "Tomorrow, same time, we start. What's your name?" Karl Becker. Leon Bass. From Philadelphia. This is the story of how teaching English became an act of resistance and saved 2 lives. Subscribe to see more untold stories like this. Most people don't know this history exists. Stalag VII-A operated under strict rules. Prisoners and guards maintained separation. Fraternization was forbidden. Conversations beyond basic orders were prohibited. Prisoners were enemies. Guards were captors. The boundary was absolute. Wehrmacht Directive 1943, archived at Bundesarchiv Militärarchiv Freiburg. Guards will maintain professional distance from prisoners. Conversations limited to necessary commands. Personal relationships forbidden. Violations subject to disciplinary action. The reasoning was military necessity. Personal relationships undermined guard effectiveness, made guards sympathetic, made prisoners individuals rather than enemies, made duty harder, made cruelty impossible. But Karl Becker needed to learn English, desperately. His brother had emigrated to America in 1938 before war started, had settled in Milwaukee. Becker wanted to join him after war, knew Germany was losing, knew he needed escape plan, needed future somewhere else, needed English to survive in America. He'd obtained English textbook, basic primer, had been studying alone for months, making no progress. Learning from book without conversation was impossible. He needed teacher, needed practice, needed someone who spoke English natively. Then he saw Leon Bass, Black American prisoner from Philadelphia, who spoke English, who was right there behind the fence, available, desperate for purpose, desperate for anything to do besides wait to die. The mathematics were simple. Becker needed English. Bass needed purpose. Exchange was possible if they ignored regulations, if they risked consequences, if they chose humanity over rules. December 15th, 1944, 2:00 p.m., exercise yard. Base approached the fence. Becker was there, waiting, nervous, looking around constantly. "Today we start with basics," Bass said in English, slowly, clearly. "Repeat after me. Hello?" "Hello," Becker repeated, German accent thick, but understandable.
My name is Karl. I am from Germany.
I am from Germany. Bass smiled. Good, very good. Now tell me, why do you want to learn English? Becker struggled. I want... Go. America. After war. My brother is there. Milwaukee. Your brother is in Milwaukee, Bass corrected gently. Your brother is in Milwaukee, Becker repeated. They practiced for 20 minutes. Basic phrases, simple sentences. Becker was eager, focused, desperate to learn. Bass was patient, encouraging, finding purpose in teaching that he'd lost in captivity. Other prisoners watched, suspicious, angry. Bass teaching a German guard. This looked like collaboration, like fraternization, like betrayal. That night, in the barracks, Private James Murphy confronted him. What the hell are you doing, Bass? Teaching that Nazi English? You helping the enemy. Bass met his eyes. I'm surviving. Teaching gives me purpose, keeps me from giving up. And maybe, if that guard sees me as human, he treats us better. Maybe he gives us extra food. Maybe he warns us about inspections. Maybe small humanity matters. He's a Nazi. He's a kid, 20 years old, conscripted, fighting war he didn't choose, trying to survive, just like us. Murphy shook his head. You're making the mistake. Maybe, but I'm alive, and I'm teaching, and that's better than waiting to die. The lessons continued, daily, 2:01 p.m, same fence, same 20 minutes, base teaching, Becker learning, both benefiting from relationship that shouldn't exist. Bass was interviewed by Veterans History Project in 2010, age 90. The interview, archived at Library of Congress. Teaching Karl gave me purpose, gave me reason to wake up, reason to survive. Without purpose, POWs died, not from violence, from despair, from losing will to live. Teaching prevented that, gave me structure, gave me meaning, saved my life. And Karl saved my life too, not dramatically, not heroically, but through small acts, extra bread sometimes, warning about inspections, small protections that accumulated into survival. One time, December 28th, SS officers came to inspect, looking for Jews, looking for escapees, looking for troublemakers. Karl warned me, told me to stay quiet, stay unnoticed. The inspection passed without incident. I survived because Karl protected me. Another time, January 15th. Food shipment didn't arrive, rations cut, prisoners were starving. Karl brought me his own bread, his personal ration, said, "You need this, you're teaching me, this is payment." I tried to refuse. He insisted. That bread kept me alive for 3 days until proper rations arrived. The relationship evolved from teacher-student to something more complex. Mutual protection, mutual care, mutual recognition of shared humanity, despite everything suggesting they should hate each other. Becker was interviewed by German researchers in 1995, age 71, living in Milwaukee. The interview, archived at Institut für Zeitgeschichte München. Interviewer: You learned English from American prisoner. How did that relationship develop? Becker: Leon was patient teacher, very patient. I was terrible student at first. My pronunciation was awful. My grammar was worse. But he never gave up, never mocked me, just corrected gently, encouraged consistently, made me believe I could learn. Interviewer: Did teaching English change how you viewed him? Becker: Completely. Before, I saw Black American prisoner, enemy, inferior. Everything we'd been taught said they were less than human. But Leon was educated, articulate, patient, kind. Everything contradicted what we'd been told. I couldn't maintain prejudice when he was teaching me with such care, with such humanity. Interviewer: Did you protect him? Becker: Yes, when I could. Small ways, extra food, warnings, small protections. Not because he was teaching me, because he'd become human to me, became person I cared about, became friend despite everything. January 20th, 1945. Commandant discovered the lessons. Guard reported seeing Becker and Bass talking daily, reported conversations lasting 20 minutes, reported relationship developing. Commandant called Becker to office. Gefreiter Becker, you've been fraternizing with prisoners, specifically with Negro prisoner. This is forbidden. Explain. Becker stood at attention, had prepared for this. Herr Oberst, I'm not fraternizing, I'm gathering intelligence. The prisoner speaks English, I speak basic English, I'm practicing with him, learning American idioms, American slang, information useful for interrogations, for understanding intercepted communications. The lie was perfect, turned teaching into intelligence gathering, turned relationship into military necessity. The commandant studied him, skeptical but unable to disprove the claim. Very well, but limit conversations to intelligence gathering. No personal discussions, no friendship. Understand? Understood, Herr Oberst. Becker left the office, heart pounding. He'd saved the lessons, saved the relationship, through bureaucratic lie that transformed humanity into military utility. He told Bass what happened. Bass laughed despite the danger. Intelligence gathering? That's brilliant. So now our English lessons are military intelligence. The irony is perfect. Yes, but we must be more careful. No long conversations, no obvious friendship, just lessons. Quick, professional. Understood.
Quick professional lessons, 20 minutes, daily, same as before. They both smiled. The relationship continued, more carefully, more secretly, but continued. April 29th, 1945. American forces liberated Stalag VII-A. Bass was free, processed through repatriation, debriefed, asked about his captivity, mentioned teaching English to German guard. Intelligence officers were interested, wanted names, wanted details. Bass refused. He protected me, helped me survive. I won't report him, won't get him prosecuted. He deserves chance at life I'm getting. The officers pressed. Bass stood firm. No names, no details. He was decent human being in indecent circumstances, that's all I'll say. Becker survived the war.
Went home to Bavaria, applied for visa to America, used English he'd learned from Bass, passed interview, passed language test, emigrated to Milwaukee, 1947, joined his brother, started new life. He worked construction, then manufacturing, eventually opened small business, German-American import shop, married, had 3 children, built life that wouldn't have existed without English learned from Leon Bass. Bass returned to Philadelphia, resumed his life, worked as educator, taught school for 40 years, spoke about Holocaust, about prejudice, about humanity, about choosing kindness despite circumstances suggesting hate was easier. He never forgot Karl Becker, never forgot teaching English at Frozen Fence in Bavaria, never forgot relationship that saved both of them. Bass was speaking at Holocaust Memorial event in Philadelphia, age 69, retired teacher, still speaking, still teaching, still spreading message about humanity. After the speech, elderly man approached, German accent, tears in eyes. Leon Bass? Bass stared. The face was older, grey hair, deep wrinkles, but recognizable. Karl Becker. They embraced, both crying, both laughing. Reunion 44 years after liberation. I've been looking for you, Becker said, for years, trying to find you, to thank you, to tell you what those lessons meant, what they created. A came to America because of English you taught me, built life here, raised family.
All because of you. And you saved my life, Bass said. Teaching gave me purpose, kept me alive, and you protected me, fed me, warned me, saved me through small acts. They talked for hours, shared stories, caught up on 44 years, discovered they lived 90 miles apart, Milwaukee and Philadelphia, so close, never knowing. They stayed in contact, visited regularly, became friends officially. Relationship that started at frozen fence in prison camp, continuing in freedom, in peace. In America, they'd both reached through helping each other. Bass was interviewed about the reunion in 1995. Finding Karl again was miracle. Learning he'd built good life. Learning he'd used English I taught him. Learning our relationship mattered to him as much as to me. It confirmed everything I believed. That kindness matters. That teaching matters.
That relationships transcend circumstances. That humanity survives everything if we choose to maintain it. The mathematics of their relationship documented in letters, interviews, and testimony. Lessons taught. Duration: December 15th, 1944, April 29th.
1945, 135 days. Lessons per week, 6. Guards rotated on Sundays. Total lessons, approximately 115. Duration per lesson, 20 minutes. Total teaching time, 38 hours. Impact on Bass. Purpose provided. Immeasurable extra food received. Approximately 45 additional bread rations. Warnings received, 3. Preventing serious consequences. Survival enabled. Direct result of teaching providing purpose. Impact on Becker. English proficiency achieved. Conversational fluency. Visa application. Successful 1947. American life enabled. Built entirely on English learned from Bass children raised in America. 3 grandchildren. 8 great-grandchildren as of 2015. 12. The numbers tell clear story. 38 hours of teaching. Creating life for Becker's family. Creating purpose that saved Bass. Creating relationship that survived war.
Creating humanity that transcended circumstances. May 1945. Bass returned to Philadelphia, to segregation. First week home, he tried to eat at restaurant. Was told, "We don't serve coloreds." He tried to register at university using GI Bill. Was directed to Negro College. "You'll be more comfortable there." He applied to teach at public school. Was told, "We don't hire colored teachers for white schools." The German guard who'd been his enemy had treated him with more respect than his own country did. In Germany as prisoner, he'd been teacher, been valued for knowledge, been treated as educated human being by enemy guard. In America, as citizen, he was denied service, denied education, denied employment. Despite military service, despite teaching, despite everything, Becker immigrated to America in 1947, faced no segregation, no discrimination based on race, opened business, prospered, built life. The mathematics were crushing. In Germany, as prisoner, respected as teacher, valued for knowledge, treated as educated person by enemy, protected by guard who saw his humanity. In America, as citizen, denied service in restaurants, directed to segregated education, denied employment in white schools, treated as inferior despite service. The irony wasn't lost on Bass. He spoke about it frequently. German guard, who was supposed to be my enemy, treated me better than my own country did, saw me as teacher, as human being, as person worth protecting. America saw me as colored, as less than, as problem. I taught enemy, enemy learned, enemy changed.
America refused to learn, refused to change, for decades. Bass lived until March 28, 2015, age 95. spent final decades speaking, teaching, spreading message about humanity, about kindness, about choosing compassion despite circumstances suggesting hate. He always told story about teaching Karl, about relationship at Frozen Fence, about how teaching saved both of them, about how enemy became friend, about how humanity survived everything. His funeral was attended by hundreds, including Karl Becker's daughter, Anna. Karl had died in 2010, age 86, but Anna came, spoke about her father, about lessons he'd learned from Leon Bass. My father spoke about Leon constantly, about lessons at Fence, about how Leon treated him with patience, with kindness, with humanity despite everything, about how those lessons created our family, created our life in America, created everything we have. My father taught me, kindness is choice, humanity is choice. We choose every day how we treat others. Leon chose kindness when hate was easier, chose teaching when giving up was simpler, chose humanity when circumstances suggested inhumanity. My father learned English from Leon, but more importantly, learned humanity, learned that enemies could be teachers, that circumstances don't eliminate choice, that we always decide how we treat others, that choosing kindness matters, always. I'm here because Leon Bass taught my father English 70 years ago. My children exist because of those lessons, my grandchildren.
All exist because Leon chose teaching, chose kindness, chose humanity. His lessons echo through generations, through family that exists because of his choice, through story we tell, through humanity we maintain because he showed us how. The United States Holocaust Memorial Museum, Washington, D.C., 3rd floor, Liberation section. Small display, relationships in captivity, POWs who taught their guards. Inside, Leon Bass's photograph, Karl Becker's English textbook, donated by Anna Becker in 2011, letters between Bass and Becker from 1989-2010, recording of their 1995 joint interview, and photograph of their 1989 reunion. 2 elderly men embracing, crying, laughing.
The display caption: during World War II, some POWs formed relationships with guards through teaching. Private First Class Leon Bass taught English to German guard Karl Becker daily for 4 months. The lessons provided Bass with purpose that helped him survive captivity. The English enabled Becker to emigrate to America after war. Their relationship demonstrated that humanity could survive even in prison camps, that teaching could create mutual respect between enemies, and that individuals could choose kindness despite circumstances suggesting cruelty. Below that, quote from Bass's 2010 interview: teaching Karl saved my life, gave me purpose, gave me reason to survive. And Karl saved my life through small protections, through extra bread, through warnings, through seeing me as human. We saved each other through teaching.
Through learning, through choosing humanity despite war, despite enemies, despite everything suggesting we should hate each other, we chose kindness instead. That choice mattered for both of us, for the rest of our lives. Next to Bass's quote, excerpt from Becker's 1995 interview. Leon taught me English, but taught me more important lesson. Taught me that humanity matters more than nationality, that kindness matters more than ideology, that we always choose how we treat others. I chose to protect him. He chose to teach me. Both choices created lives, created friendship, created humanity that survived everything. I am grateful every day for those lessons, for that friendship, for that choice to be human when inhumanity was easier. Sometimes teaching is resistance. Sometimes learning is redemption. Sometimes humanity survives through 20-minute lessons at Frozen Fence.
Leon Bass taught English to enemy guard, gave purpose to himself, gave future to Becker, created relationship that saved both lives, 135 days, 115 lessons, 38 hours total, creating family that wouldn't exist, creating friendship that survived war, creating humanity that transcended circumstances, one lesson at a time, one vocabulary word at a time, one grammatical correction at a time, one small act of kindness at a time. Until Guard learned English well enough to emigrate. Until teacher survived through purpose teaching provided. Until relationship proved humanity transcends circumstances. Until both men built lives that wouldn't have existed without choosing kindness when hate was easier. The German textbook sits in museum now, behind glass, worn pages, penciled notes, evidence of learning, evidence of teaching, evidence of humanity choosing itself despite everything. 20-minute lessons, changing 2 lives, creating 3 children, 8 grandchildren, 12 great-grandchildren, all existing because Leon Bass chose teaching, because Karl Becker chose learning, because both chose humanity. One English lesson at a time.